For 8 years of marriage, my wife had one absolute rule: never, under any circumstances, try to open the basement door. She wasn't aggressive or angry about it. Whenever I asked, she would just look me in the eye, smile gently, and say, "Sir, just trust me on this one." And for almost a decade I did. I left that door alone. It became an invisible wall in our home. Until one stormy night, everything changed. But before I tell you what happened that night, let me introduce myself. My name is David, and I'm a high school teacher who lives in Savannah, Georgia. It's a beautiful historic city, known for its old oak trees and quiet neighborhoods. My wife, Sarah, and I bought our dream house here shortly after we got married. We've built a wonderful life together, or so I thought. I always believed we had no secrets. I was wrong. It was mid-October when a massive thunderstorm hit Savannah. Around midnight, the power went out completely, plunging the entire house into darkness. The wind was howling, and the rain was pounding the roof. I woke up frozen and reached for Sarah, but her side of the bed was empty and cold. I grabbed my flashlight, wandering around the dark kitchen, the living room, even checking the garage. Nothing. Then a faint, muffled sound caught my attention. It was coming from downstairs, just behind the barred door. It was the sound of someone crying, a heartbreaking, silent cry, like someone was desperately trying to hold back their tears. My heart hammered against my ribs. Holding my breath, I turned the handle. To my shock, it wasn't locked. For the first time in 8 years, I opened the door and stepped into the darkness below. I had expected a dusty, empty storage room. Instead, my flashlight revealed a fully furnished bedroom. The walls were covered with children's drawings, colorful birthday banners, and dozens of framed photos. Sarah sat on a small rug in the middle of the room. She was clutching a battered, small teddy bear to her chest, her shoulders shaking as she cried. She looked up as the light hit her. There was no anger in her eyes, just a deep, overwhelming exhaustion. She wiped her face and whispered, "I always knew this day would come, David." My mind was racing. I looked at the pictures on the wall. In all of them, the same boy stood out. A boy growing from a toddler to a teenager, smiling brightly. "Sarah," I gasped. "Who is this? Who is this?" Tears streaming down her face. She looked down at the bear in her hands and said, "This is my little brother, Ethan." I stood there, completely stunned. Sarah had told me she was the only one. But as she sat there in the dim light, she finally told me the truth. When she was just 12, Ethan had been diagnosed with a severe, rare neurological condition. People didn't understand him in those days. Neighbors stared, friends stopped coming over, and the extended family slowly became strange and judgmental. To protect him from the cruel whispers of the world, his parents isolated the family. They stopped talking about him to outsiders. They hid him, but Sarah never did. Ethan became her whole world. Every single day after school, she was with him, reading him stories, playing games, making him laugh. He wasn't a burden. He was her best friend. Then during a freezing winter when Ethan was just 16, his heart gave out. He passed away peacefully in his sleep. Losing him broke something deep inside her. Years later, after her parents passed away, Sarah secretly recreated Ethan's room in our basement. It became her sanctuary, a private place where she could keep his memory alive, talk to him, and grieve without fear of being judged or called weird. She kept it a secret from me because she was afraid I wouldn't understand her pain. I sat down on the floor next to her, pulling her close to me. In that moment, all the missing pieces of our marriage fell into place: the sudden sadness she carried every winter, the quiet moments of solitude. She wasn't harboring a dark, deceitful secret. She was guarding a beautiful, painful memory. We stayed in that room until the sun rose over the savannah. He spent hours telling me stories about Ethan, his favorite cartoons, the sound of his laugh, how he loved chocolate chip cookies. For the first time, I felt like I knew him too. When we finally walked upstairs together, leaving the door open, I realized a profound truth. Sometimes the doors people keep closed aren't meant to keep secrets. They're meant to protect a broken heart. And sometimes the most courageous thing a person can do is finally invite you in.